Good morning. Welcome back to Dig Deeper Ministry. The daily dig comes from Psalm 14. Now, an interesting note about Psalm 14 is that Psalm 53 is a nearly identical twin of Psalm 14. It's very few differences. So I think this exposition could apply to Psalm 53 as well. So let's begin with Psalm 14. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have committed abominable deeds. There is no one who does good. Note it says no one. That includes everybody. That points to something that's known as depravity. That is, we all have fallen short. Now, note with the verse, the fool. Now, this isn't referring to an intellectual standing or how smart someone is. This is referring to a moral reference. These are morally wicked people who reject God. So we begin with a reference to the wicked and depravity. Now let's move on to verses 2 and 3. The Lord has looked down from heaven upon the sons of men to see if there are any who understand, who seek after God. They have all turned aside. Together they have become corrupt. There is no one who does good, not even one. Whereas verse 1 talks about the fool and the wicked and how it pointed to depravity. Verse 3 in particular, it reinforces that idea of total depravity. We have all fallen short. This is what the Apostle Paul was referring back to in the book of Romans, chapter 3, verses 10 through 12. The Apostle Paul wrote, "As it is written, there is none righteous, not even one. There is none who understands. There is none who seek God. All have turned aside. Together they have become useless. There is no one who does good. There is not even one." That is a harsh statement of entirety, which describes us all. I want you to note this all, no one, not even one. This classifies us all as once being the fool of verse 1. We have all sinned and fallen short, and we, in total depravity, are in desperate need of a Savior. We move to verse 4. Do all the workers of wickedness not know, who eat up my people as they eat bread, and do not call upon the Lord? There they are in great dread. So these wicked people who eat up my people, their future is great dread. For God is with the righteous generation. You would put to shame the counsel of the afflicted, but the Lord is his refuge. Note the change from verses 4 and 5, which are written in third person, just a general statement describing the workers of wickedness, moving to verse 6, which switches to second person, which makes this much more personal. It says you. He's referring to the workers of wickedness, the fool of verse 1. You would put to shame the counsel of the afflicted being those who the workers of wickedness are eating up as they eat bread, who have the future of great dread. You, workers of iniquity, you would put to shame the counsel of the afflicted, but the Lord is his refuge. Whereas the workers of wickedness have a future of great dread, the afflicted, who are with the righteous generation, have a refuge. There's a substantial difference. being the fool, we are in great dread, facing the judgment of God's wrath. And this was once all of us. All. No one, not even one. This great dread is what we were all facing. But praise be to God that He gave us a refuge. The afflicted, indeed, have a refuge. We move to verse 7. Oh, that the salvation of Israel would come out of Zion. When the Lord restores His captive people, Jacob will rejoice, Israel will be glad. This salvation is found in Jesus alone. There is no other name by which we must be saved. Only Jesus. So, today, have you found refuge in your Savior? Have you found salvation in Jesus? This very day, put your faith in Jesus so that you can rejoice and be glad and restored in Him.